Man, Steven Salas was not joking around when he said the Houston Rockets were going to be difficult to guard. The Houston Rockets flashed a ton of potential last night. Now, granted, it's preseason. We're taking it with a grain of salt. They played the San Antonio Spurs. We're also taking that with a grain of salt. But we saw Tari Eason. We saw Jabari Smith Jr., our 2 first-round draft picks, absolutely feast. We also saw a little bit of Ty Washington Jr. But it was the first time that we saw, as Houston Rocket fans or just basketball fans in general, Jalen Green, KPJ, Alperen Şengün out there at the same time as Tari Eason, Jabari Smith Jr., and all of our rookies. So Rafael Stone continues to impress me. I think Jabari Smith Jr. really flashed why he was supposed to be projected number 1 draft pick for majority of the season. Majority of the college season, Jabari Smith Jr. was that guy, and we really saw it last night. But as a whole, the Houston Rockets were just extremely impressive on both sides of the court. We shot 55% from the field. We shot 44% from downtown. We had 60 rebounds, out-rebounded the San Antonio Spurs, 32 assists. You love to see it. A bunch of defensive statistics. We had 68 points in the paint. That's also just something you absolutely love to see. Now, there are some things they need to work on. For example, 27 fouls. It's a lot of fouls. 20 turnovers, that's a lot of turnovers. So I'm not here to say that the Houston Rockets will be a play-in team because, honestly, guys, I don't think our defense is there. I don't think our roster is quite where we want it to be, where when we look at this upcoming draft class, it's pretty talented, especially at the top, and I would imagine the Houston Rockets have lottery aspirations for one more season. However, we'd take 30 wins. I think all of us watching, if you're a Rocket fan, you'd take 30 wins. We want to start setting that basketball winning culture relatively soon. This is probably the last year that the Houston Rockets have in their window to, lose without repercussions. So welcome back to the channel, man. My name is Jackson. I post daily NBA content. I'm also going to be posting this on my daily Houston Rockets channel. If you guys don't know that, the link will be down below. You can type in Houston Rockets Daily. This video will also be on Houston Rockets Daily. So if you're confused, that's we'll clear that confusion up. But really, man, last night, here's the thing. Tari Eason's preseason is pretty big because you have a bunch of guys fighting for minutes, a spot in the rotation, to even just make the roster in general. We look at guys like Eric Gordon. I don't think Eric Gordon will be starting on this team much longer. I do think he'll start probably for the first month or two on Houston. But if Tari plays the way he played last night in just 21 minutes, guys, 21 points, 9 of 13 from the field, 1 of 2 from downtown. He had 10 rebounds. He had 2 steals. He had a block. He was finished as a plus 14. If Tari Eason plays the way he did last night, he will be starting very soon, and I wouldn't be surprised, as deep as this class was, I would not be surprised if he ended up making an all-NBA all-rookie first team with Jabari Smith Jr., who, man, this is why, first off, guys, he's listed at 6'11". Jabari Smith Jr. is listed at 6'11". That is the coolest thing I could possibly hear. We are going to see him at the 3. We're going to see him at the 4. We're going to see him at the 5. We're going to see him handling the ball. We saw it last night. We saw, if you watched any film on Jabari Smith Jr. in college, he has this swagger to him. It reminds me of Jalen Green, and I think it's pretty much getting into the new Houston Rockets culture, which we're still trying to identify. I think we're going to have a much better idea of our culture by the end of this season and as this season progresses. Jabari Smith Jr. just walks on up, shoots it, bang. You're going to see a bunch of that. We saw a bunch of that at Auburn. You're going to see a bunch of that this upcoming season. When Jabari is hot, he's hot, man, and he's going to shoot it. I thought that he looked a lot more comfortable. He looked a lot more poised. He looked really, really good on the defensive end. So if we have Jabari Smith Jr. and Tari Eason long-term as our 3 and as our 4, an interchangeable 3 and 4 who can guard multiple different positions, they can switch on to guards, they can switch on to big men, that's what we're looking for. That right there is what we're looking for. But like I said, I don't think our defense is as good. Keep in mind, man, we kept the Spurs in 96, right? But the Spurs are probably going to be the worst team in the NBA. They're probably going to be the worst team in the NBA. If not, they're going to be the second or third worst team in the league. So even because we're taking it with a grain of salt because it's just preseason in general, we're taking the Spurs with a grain of salt as well. So we got the Raptors next Friday. That'll actually give us a little bit better of idea of rotations, who's fitting with who isn't fitting with who. Moving on, though, we have Jalen Green. Now, Jalen Green played 23 minutes. He only shot 3 of 12, 0-4 from downtown. However, he looks a lot bigger than he did in his rookie season. He looks a lot more confident as well. It looks like an improved second half Jalen Green. And as we all know, Jalen Green in the second half of this past season was averaging 20 at least, night in and night out. He even dropped 41 in the regular season finale. So Jalen Green, even though KPJ and Jalen Green, they were not shooting the ball well, first off, KPJ had 6 assists and 3 steals. So I'm not worried about their shooting splits in any way, shape, or form. Only 2 turnovers from Kevin as well. Both of them put up single-digit point totals, but I saw what I needed to see. Alperen Sengun. Now, 5 turnovers. First game of the preseason. Take it with a grain of salt. 5 of 6 from the field, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. He was a lot more involved in the offense. The Houston Rockets offense in general moved a lot more fluidly. It just looked like really good offensive basketball and defensive basketball. It looked like really good basketball last night from the Houston Rockets. Alperen Sengun is a guy we all know as Houston Rocket fans. Outside Houston Rocket fans, they're starting to learn the name Alperen Sengun. I think a lot of people realize his potential, and I think it's really going to come into motion, especially having a season in Euroball, just more reps, because he was really raw last season, whether it was turnovers, personal fouls, etc., etc. Really talented, but really raw. We're going to see a much more rounded Alperen Sengun this season. Moving on to the bench, man, we did see KPJ. I talk a lot about the KJ Martin Jr. situation on the Houston Rockets channel, so check that out once again. Josh Christopher's a dog. It's another one of those just low-key Rocket players that we all know that I think the NBA is about to be awoken by all this young talent on the Rockets. People think about the Rockets, they're like, yeah, they got young talent. You got Jalen Green, KPJ is enticing. Is he going to be a point guard? Though I say yes. But, not too many people realize Josh Christopher. One stat that really shocked me with Christopher was, first off, he shot 3 of 4 from downtown last night. And the reason I bring that up is because what we saw in the Summer League and what we saw last night is a really, really confident and a really comfortable, especially from downtown, Josh Christopher. But I thought we saw plenty of glimpses of Josh Christopher's 3-ball last season, and it really surprised me when I looked into his statistics that he shot 29.6% from downtown last year. That blew my mind because I'm like, Josh Christopher was a pretty solid, he wasn't supposed to be a solid 3-point shooter, but I didn't view him as a liability in any way, shape, or form. I'm shocked that him and Jayshawn Tate had the same 3-point percentage last season because I trust Josh Christopher. If Josh Christopher wants to take a 3, take that 3. You know what I'm saying? I feel a little bit differently with Jayshawn Tate. Let me know what you guys are thinking about the Houston Rockets. Just one preseason game. But hit that like button, hit that sub button. All my links are going to be down below. Check this video out on Houston Rockets Daily. I'll probably be live later tonight on Monday. And yeah. Follow the Instagram at Jackson Ostro. That's all I got for you guys.